Hello and welcome to Hudson McKenzie's inaugural podcast, where we explore the latest immigration trends, policies, and developments impacting businesses today. My name is Gun Ming Chung, and today's episode is particularly relevant for companies navigating the complex landscape of corporate immigration and those that are keen to know the direction that the government is taking. I'm thrilled to be joined by Sabina Ali, our director at Hudson McKenzie, who brings a wealth of experience in guiding businesses through the intricacies of immigration law. We'll be discussing the recent changes in UK migration policy, as outlined by the Home Secretary Yvette Cooper, and what these mean for businesses, particularly those relying on international talent. We'll also delve into some of the new developments regarding family migration, including the recent letters from Yvette Cooper to the Migration Advisory Committee, and a response from the MAC outlining their plans to review both the minimum income requirement and sector dependence on international recruitment. So whether you're a HR professional, a business owner, or simply interested in understanding how these changes could impact your company, this episode is for you. Sabina, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ming. I'm really excited for our first podcast.
Yeah, shall we jump straight into it?
Of course, let's go.
So let's start by setting the stage. Migration has always played a crucial role in the economy of the UK, and the amount of talent from abroad has been vital to building the diverse and dynamic country we know today. However, as recent figures show, net migration to the UK has increased significantly, and Yvette Cooper's recent statements make it clear that while the UK benefits from international talent, the current reliance on foreign immigration is not sustainable. What's your take on these developments?
Well, Ming, the statistics are striking, and is it because there is a clear need for talent? Net migration has surged to 685,000 in the year leading up to December 2023. And what's clear is that sectors like IT and engineering, which have relied heavily on international recruitment, are now under government scrutiny. Yvette Cooper has made it clear that the government wants to link immigration more closely with skilled policy and labour market reforms.
Right. And in fact, in a letter to the MAC on the 6th of August 2024, Cooper requested a comprehensive review of these sectors, IT, telecommunications, engineering professionals, because they feature in the top 10 occupations reliant on international recruitment. The MAC is being asked to investigate why these sectors depend so heavily on foreign talent and whether more could be done to build domestic skills in these areas. How do you see this sort of affecting businesses, particularly in these sectors itself?
Well, the review is going to be crucial because businesses that rely on foreign workers in IT and engineering will have to reassess their strategies. So, if the government begins implementing stricter visa controls or ties immigration policy more closely to domestic training, it could mean more investment in upskilling the local workforce. And this may lead to higher costs in the short term, but in the long term, the resilience could improve if companies start addressing these skills gaps domestically.
Exactly. And the government is asking the MAC to consider a wide range of factors, such as whether training, pay, or working conditions are behind these shortages. They're also exploring the effectiveness of the immigration salary list and whether a regional approach to the salary thresholds could be used as a lever to encourage domestic recruitment. So it's clear that this is not just about reducing the numbers, but also about creating a more sustainable and self-sufficient labor market in the UK. How do you think companies should prepare for this shift?
So I think businesses should start looking at internal training and development programs. So partnering with universities or offering apprenticeships could be ways to reduce reliance on international recruitment. In addition, understanding how immigration policies may evolve is key. So companies need to be proactive, especially since Yvette Cooper is pushing for a report from the MAC within 9 months. So the clock is ticking.
That's a great point. And speaking of timelines, the MAC in their letter recently dated on the 10th of September 2024, they confirmed that they've accepted Yvette Cooper's commission to review both the industry reliance on international workers and family migration policies. They've asked for a full cooperation from the government and the Home Office to provide detailed data to conduct this review in a timely manner. It seems that the MAC is quite serious about gathering as much evidence as possible, and they've launched a full call for evidence to engage with stakeholders. How important would you say that this data collection is for businesses?
So it will be essential. The Mac's ability to gather data from the Home Office, HMRC, and other departments will provide a clearer picture of where these gaps are and what's driving the reliance on international recruitment. For businesses, participating in this call for evidence could be an opportunity to have their voices heard and even influence the final recommendations, especially if they have insight into how these immigration policies are impacting their ability to hire and retain talent.
Right. So now is the time for businesses to get involved. I mean, beyond the industry review, the MAC is also tasked with looking into the minimum income requirement for family visas. I mean, in her letter, Yvette Cooper asked them to consider whether this should be increased from 29,000 as proposed by the previous government to 34,500 in 2025 and eventually to 38,700. So the MAC's review will be critical in shaping the future of family migration policy to the UK.
That's right. And those salary figures are quite high. But in their response, the MAC noted that they'll be examining data on family visa applicants, including demographics, income levels, benefits data, to determine whether these proposed increases are justified. For businesses, particularly those bringing in international talent, this could impact how attractive the UK becomes. How attractive the UK remains, in fact, for workers with families. A higher income threshold will make it harder for employees to bring their families over, which could be a deterrent.
Yeah, so it's definitely something that businesses will need to keep an eye on. I mean, if the threshold increases, it could create challenges for attracting talent, particularly in roles where salaries might not be high enough to meet these new thresholds.
Exactly, and that's why it's crucial for companies to be prepared for any potential changes to the family visa requirements, such as, offering additional support, whether through financial assistance or benefits. It could make all the difference in ensuring that international employees feel secure in relocating their families to the UK.
So, between the review of the sector-specific immigration needs and the ongoing consideration of family visa requirements, it's quite clear that immigration policy in the UK is going through a significant transformation. Businesses need to be ready to adapt to these changes, whether it's through increasing investment in local skills development or ensuring they're offering the right support to international employees and their families. And that's it for today's podcast. I really hope you found this discussion on the UK's evolving migration policy and its impact on business and family immigration insightful. A big thank you, Sabina, for joining us today.
No,
So
thanks, Ming. I mean, it's an interesting topic, and I'm sure we all love it. We all love this topic, and and we want to see how this will evolve over the coming months as well.
exactly, it'll be an interesting time for all of us. So if you guys have any questions or want to continue this conversation, I mean, please feel free to connect with us through our website at hudsonmckenzie.com. That's Hudson McKenzie in one word. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. Thanks for tuning in and see you next time.